What's going on, folks? I am Goat. Welcome back to Warframe. So, touching base on the Eidolon thing, right? We're going to go do a couple of Teralyst hunts because a few people pointed out the obvious of there is reason to farm Eidolons, and so I'm just going to show you the basic setup. So, just exactly what I showed you in the builds before, Rubico, Nucor, hell, we'll even go with, well, here. There, perfect. Good to go. Okay. So, done goofed. Almost forgot a thing. So obviously no direct need to run Steel Path or anything like that. You can literally just do Teralyst hunts on base star chart. We literally just started a night cycle. So in this, I'm going to show two ways of approaching this Eidolon, depending on what you got. Okay, regular Volt, base Rubico, whatever fucking weapons you have, okay? I will say a big helper is absolutely... Let me see, of course, the mark for this is always a thing. So, like, there's a lot of different ways to go about this thing. But you're gonna need two lures. Ciphers are helpful, but not incredibly necessary. Energy pads are definitely helpful if you don't have shards to help lead you along the way. You are most probably going to want the Itzal for the let's see, are our little buddies here? Of course they're not. Fine. We'll do this the long way, okay? I know, projectile incoming. Somebody shot a fucking rocket at me. Alright, come here, big boy. So obviously this is just an Eidolon Teralyst. Okay? So we're gonna park one of these bad boys. Oh, and I'm running the wrong amp. So this amp isn't even going to be as powerful as the normal amp. That'll be even funnier. Look at that. Shields are down. Now, you don't want to take this motherfucker down just yet because we need to charge our lures. And considering I don't want to run around and... I know, big boy, you're mad. Sorry. I don't want to run around and look for Bonvalist, which is very much what you should do. I just want to show the basic gameplay of this. Come on, big boy, where you at? See, radiation dunzo right there. So you need three, and you need, excuse me, I hear you. You guys are. There. Look at that. So that lure is charged. Yippee-i-o-ki. Every second attack from the Eidolon, Eidolon will give you the good goods. Oh, who the fuck was shooting you, bitch? Back here. I know, I'm completely fucking about here. I know you little pricks were here. I just saw you. Oh no, it's kitties. See, that little noise is a Bonvalist. I just gotta find little bastards. Oh yeah, you little pricks. Ah, fuck them. We'll get Bonvalist while we're fighting. Anyway, let's go. Stop fucking about. Because this really is fucking about, okay? Like, if you really, really want to speedrun these bastards... Oh, did I hear a buddy? They always spawn on second attacks anyway. Okay, so let's just add some damage to this situation.
Energy spike. I advise falling back. That device is
and yes, collecting the exceptionals is helpful, and you want to do stay in close proximity. Now, the reason I'm not getting absolutely fucking wrecked here is a mix of Worm Prime and having Arcane Nullifier. which if you don't have Arcane Nullifier, that does make it a little bit of a difference. Really? You're gonna call for your buddies? Fuck you, okay? Of course I just did that. Bruh, I am sucking balls. Yeah, obviously tell how out of practice I am, I can tell you that. Oh, they're both charged. See, so like my shields are gonna get all fucked up. I will take some damage. And yes, I will show you the amp I would recommend. Bruh.
Energy spike. I advise falling
I know, this doesn't seem... a little too far away. Yeah, see, like, I'm using a fucking flamethrower amp, for Christ's sake.
smaller sentients rush to the Eidolons' aid, healing it.
See, so right here is where the Eidolon screams out for help
You are close
and does its thing. Now,
now.
you can sit here with the Rubico Prime. Okay? 100%. You can sit here with your, you know, with your new core and keep the little bastards away. Or if you have gotten to the point of having a Necramech, you can take each one of the fucking joints down without Volt Shields, without, you know, the Rubico, any of this bullshit, and just absolutely blast the bejesus out of this son of a bitch. Now, again, this is if you have the Necramech. The Rubico will do just fine. Throw a couple of shields, bingo bongo, hit roar. Or you can just go Arcobex and tell this fucker goodnight. Now, what we've done is these lures... And yes, if you need cores. You can see the lures were tethered, and both lures went kabloomy. Now, the reason I say for the Itzal is the Itzal's third ability pulls everything into you like a little black hole. You get your Brilliant Eidolon Shard for ranking up. You get your standard Eidolon Shard for ranking up with Anku. Now, see the Eidolon Shard there. And all the lag that comes with going through Cetus. See, and I got Arcane Momentum, and then you can turn right to fuck back around, let the stupid door close, go back through the door, and we can do this all over again. Okay? Literally like 6 fucking minutes. Now, that's me fucking around. Okay? 100%, this is me fucking about. So all we're looking for is what fucking lake this prick is coming from, because the Teralyst definitely likes coming from different goddamn locations. Well, where the fuck is the big prick? Oh, this big bastard. Now he's gonna give me shit. There he is. Okay, so gonna get some lures. Like I said, you only need 2. And yes, if you come in preset ready to rock,
You attempt to take control of
you only need the 2 because you want to capture it. So you get your Brilliant Eidolon Shard for Focus School, and you get your Eidolon Shard for ranking up with Anku. The Focus School, if anybody doesn't understand that one, is you need Brilliant Eidolon Shards for the Waybound Focus School abilities that you'll need to unlock, which there are 10 of them. Okay, so we're gonna park you. You stay there. Now, the reason that we're parking it is that way you only load up one lure until you're ready. Oh, go ahead, do your shit. What the fuck do I care? See, so we have Grenier over here shooting at us, which is fine. More Grenier over there. So yeah, I hate when you hear the Vomvalis, but you don't see the little bastards. They're usually hanging out near Grenier camps. There's usually one particular one that's really, really good to go get at, which is the one I went and visited. And it's also kind of where, hi. How you doing, bud? Can you just spawn one of your buddies? Thank you. It's every second or every third attack. Okay, so he's fed to the lure. Dodge that stupid ass attack. I heard you over here, little bastard. Oh, big hand slam. Oh, I'm afraid. Of course, I got knocked down. Okay, so we're gonna go back and get our goddamn lure because I'm a big dummy and I don't just preload my shit and go hunt down the bastards. So now we're gonna do this with... Damn, I still didn't even change my amp. Believe me, the amp that I usually use is far better than this. It's just a simple 1-1-1. Now, if you want to take the prick down really quick, bye-bye kneecap. Now, whenever he falls, he does drop an energy orb. I would highly recommend collecting that. Oh no, they're touching my bunghole. See, like I said, this goes very quickly as well. The little blue ball that the Vomvalis drop are the energy to feed the lures. I think you're doing, big boy. I mean, like, this just, you know, if you actually have a Necramech, this is insanely fast to go about it this way. It's these stupid fucking Grenier over here. I'm gonna fuck off. I'm being a complete goof tonight. I put my Necramech. So we got one more joint right there. Then we got that big boy right there, so we're just gonna take that out. And as you can see, like with Arcane Nullifier, this works incredibly well. And if you haven't even charged your lures, like as long as you have one of your lures charged, so many Vomvalis will sit here and just spawn up between the legs and underneath this Eidolon that this fuckhead will literally just die. So it doesn't even matter, like if he does charge some health back up or some shields back up, he will die. So if you have a mech, super easy way to do it. If you just have the basic bitch setup, and we're going to go back to the ship and talk about this setup. Because this is, you know, bye-bye Eidolon. Its lures blow up. Grab our stuff, and then we're going to go back to the giant great white vagina gate of Cetus. Yay. Now, again, this is only going to get you very common, this is just going to get you common arcanes. This isn't going to get you anything crazy or fancy. Oh my god, that lag was real, was it not? Holy shit. And again, 7 minutes, and that's me not really prepping for the Vulnvalus whatsoever. We're just going through the base fight. But you figure, even if you run the 6 to 7 minute time frame, soloing a fucking Teralyst, you figure the night cycle, like I said, it's 50 or 55 minutes. You will very rapidly, knock out quite a few of these motherfuckers. You'll get, 7 of them in a night cycle? If you just go in and out like that. And 7 minutes is, it's alright. I mean, it's nothing to boast about, but you figure that's 7 brilliant Eidolon shards and you need 10 for each waybound ability. But it's much easier than sitting there trying to go through all the mechanics of, soloing, a tridolon, unless you are just all about it. So, what this build can go without. Because you can use your operator to avoid the magnetic attacks. So obviously, Arcane Nullifier, not necessary. Arcane Energize, also not necessary. Okay? Base Continuity works fine. Base Flow works just fine. Regular Vitality is kind of to taste because you do have Rolling Guard on here to save your butt, but regular Vitality is a little helpful. You can use Streamline instead of Fleeting Expertise. Adaptation is probably the biggest ask of this. Okay, that and Deadeye, because Deadeye is kind of a nice little buff to your sniper rifle. Not necessary, but it does help. Okay? As far as the Rubico, you don't even need the fucking Riven that's on this thing. It's just crit chance punch through and plus zoom. It's not even a no-neg fucking Riven. Like I said, there's other builds that you can go about doing this. This is just what I use. So it kind of is what it is. The new core, again, you don't need the Riven for it. And yeah, it's a negative crit chance because it was actually meant for this. So I forgot to put it on there anyway, but it's just a pure rad build. I mean, it is magnetic progenitor, so you're going to get that, which has no bearing on the Vulnvalus or the Eidolon whatsoever. But it's just primarily a pure radiation build, and as you saw, it just completely plows through the Vulnvalus very easy. And then the base Serrata. Okay, again, no Riven necessary because I actually took the crit mod off this motherfucker. So running, something like, Steel Charge. Yeah, something like Steel Charge or Sacrificial Steel is perfectly fine in lieu of that Riven, because that Riven is literally just Toxin, which plays into the particular glaive anyway, and then Critical Chance. That's it. But it's Radiation Toxin, and the Toxin has nothing to do with it, so a pure crit mod is perfectly fine there. Believe me when I tell you, this entire setup works fine. It works just fine. You can use whatever secondary you want to. Preferably, I like either the Kuva Nucor or the Tenet Cycron, both on a pure radiation build, or at least radiation being your highest damage. Radiation for the Serrata. That way, if for some reason you're out of secondary ammo or anything goofy happens, you can just whack them with a fucking glaive, and then the Rubico for taking out the joints. And taking out the Eidolon if you don't have a mech. Like I said, base Worm works just fine. Okay? This is the big one. Okay? You need to go to Cephalon Samaris, go get some standing. Take this, because this will help you with all the mag procs that the prick throws at you. Okay? 100%. That's just the truth. Okay? This is just a bingo bongo. These are, all the bond mods are either Ticker or Sun. If I remember correctly. And then Synth Deconstruct is Fortuna bounties. You can run regular regen. Not going to have quite as much respawn time change, but it's helpful. Shield Charger is, you're going to get mag proc like a son of a bitch anyway with your frame. So, that's kind of just there. You can put whatever the fuck you want to. I mean, hell, if you're really all about it, you can actually run Mediray instead. You really can. You can just run it instead of Shield Charger, because you're going to lose your shields constantly. The fucking weapon is just kind of whatever. You don't even need a weapon on there. If you do, run it radiation. Help prime the Vulnvalus to get near you. So, I mean, this is as simple as it gets. And then the mech is, it's like the Moslin. Again, I have a Riven for the Moslin. It is what it is, okay? It's nothing crazy. As you see, nothing bonkers. You can run regular Rubino-lined barrel. Hollowed bullets is a more rare drop. Dual charge, not so bad. Magma chamber and charged bullets, I believe, are the Fomorian and the Razorback Armada. So you will want to do both those events. But beauty is you can run the base versions of these at empties. As long as you're dealing radiation damage, it will help. And then the Arquebex, guess what? Same fucking thing. Obviously this time, nothing really bonkers. Hypothermic shell isn't even necessary, by the way. That's just kind of a thing I stuck on there. Because it will slow down Vonvolus if for some reason you need to, open fire on them. But as you saw, that it just literally clocks the fucking Eidolon, just knocks the Eidolon's clock, so kind of is what it is. But yeah, that's kind of the deal, it's very, like, there's so many things about this that you don't know. Regular Volt does the job. You don't need the Arcanes. You don't need the Primes. You don't even need the Umbral mod. You don't need the fucking, the goddamned, corrupted fleeting expertise. Like, adaptation is really the only thing you really, really want. Rolling guard, you can use, you can not use, because you can use your operator to basically kind of forego taking damage. Now, as you get into doing tridolons, that's a little bit more different. That's where shit like this really does kind of start to come in handy. But you can run a basic version of this build. Okay, you really can. And as promised, like, I will show you the amp I was meaning to run and forgot to, because I kind of just threw this together at the last second because the night cycle was hitting. So the normal amp that I run is this. This is a simple, it's actually a 171. But you can run a 111. Now what this means is that it's a Raptec Prism, which is the #1 Prism available. It's rank 1, or it's a tier 1 amp Prism. The Panka Scaffold, tier 1 amp scaffold. The Certus Brace is a tier 7, and there's no realistic tiers, it's just how you come across them. So there's 7 different kinds of amps, and then there are braces and scaffolds that match to that particular release amount, rank amount, if you want to put it that way. The Certus Brace basically just gives you a little bit of extra stank, that's about it. But you can absolutely run, what is that motherfucker? I want to say it's the Lauren, actually. I'm kind of... Yeah, I'm almost positive it's the Lauren. Yeah, don't hold me to it, but if I remember correctly, it's the Raptec Prism, the Lauren Brace, and the Panka Scaffold. They are all, for like, rank 1 fucking Anku available. And they will absolutely do the job. Now, if you want something a little bit more interesting, you can do something like the FOD Scaffold, which, if I remember correctly, is a 3. But it basically fires a void disc that will bounce all over the Eidolon and weaken it, give it weak points that you can shoot at, and the void damage from your amp will actually focus on that area. So you can actually kind of start fucking its joints up once you take its shield down just by alt firing at it. Not necessary though. This is literally what I normally run. It was just, here, this works. And like I said, you can just run the Lauren Brace, works just fine. I mean, hell, the fucking arcanes for this motherfucker aren't even necessary. They're not, like, you can easily hunt them. And do arcanes help for the amp? Yes, of course. Do arcanes help for the operator? Yeah, or your Warframe? Yes, of course. But are they necessary? No. So, I mean, this is what we know, okay? Hunting Teralysts. You just saw me do 2 of them in like 13 and a half minutes, I think. And that was screwing around, not even actually going to the focal points of, getting, at least the initial lure charged with Vonvolus, because there are certain spawn points on the map. I just kind of wanted to go to the Eidolon and just kind of show, hey, look, hey, they do spawn here, and when you hear the little cry out, you just go find them and shoot them and have a nice day. So hopefully that elaborates a little bit more as far as, like, at least the base necessity of Eidolon hunting. You don't have to do tridolons if you don't want to. Yes, you will speed the entire process up because you will get more brilliant Eidolon shards the more hunts you do. You know, i.e. doing 3 instead of just a Teralyst. And yes, that was a very sloppy, because I am horribly out of practice, I'm gonna be honest. But that was a very sloppy run through, and even that, you can get like 7 fucking Teralysts just by going in and out. The big factor is that you need at least 1 lure charge to keep that bastard from despawning, and you do need to capture the Eidolon in order to unlock waybounds. So waybounds are specifically the ones with 4 markers. So like with Madurai, it's Inner Gaze and Eternal Gaze. You know, with Zeneric, you have Void Siphon, Void Flow. All of these waybounds unlocked, as you see over here, are all available no matter what school you're on. So these are all the waybounds from all the other schools. You get all these unlocked, your operator becomes highly functional. And this is where something like, you know, Brilliant Eidolon shards absolutely come into play. Like, they're very, very handy. So, you know, among ranking everything else up in the focus schools. So yeah. So, I mean, this is what I got. You know, it's not perfect. It's not pretty. It's functional. Okay. So, I know it kind of looks chaotic. It'll take a little bit of practice. But just go on a basic blueprint of this, especially if you've got a Necramech. This is going to make your life way easier. If you don't have a mech, I'm fully aware the Necramech grind sucks. If you can trade for the plat to just buy the damn thing, by all means, I would definitely suggest it, because the Necramech grind still does suck. And if you want to just forego using a Necramech, using something like the base Rubico will work. It will do the job. You just, you know, it's a little bit more of a slog. Okay. So either way, folks, I hope this is at least in some way helpful for you. And, you know, thank you very much for watching. As always, we'll catch you in the next one. All right.